Peace to all the divine primordial deities. Now, I'm going to be piggybacking off a video I did earlier today. And in that video, I was discussing on how internal and external, the vajayjays and the wombs are different, dealing with different ethnicities. We know that we are all not the same, and that is a fact. This is all science. But when you start to dig into the biology, you start to see on why. And what I came across was very profound. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to break this thing down scientifically, and we're going to connect it with spirituality, because spirituality and science go hand in hand. And then we're going to tap into metaphysics, and I'm going to bring it to you esoterically. This is why they say the melanated man needs to mate only with the melanated woman. And this is why. The majority of the women that is outside of the melanated woman, they carry a cone-shaped vajayjay. Now, what does cones do? They trap. Cones trap sound and energy. And in society, we use cones to trap and to muffle things, which means there is no exit when it comes to a cone. The energy is trapped because it's not an original Stargate. So what happens is the energy eventually gets absorbed because the womb, which is the cone shape, it can't reciprocate, which means when the original melanated man mates outside of his race with another ethnicity of a woman that is not the original woman, what happens is there is no sacred energy being exchanged. There is a blockage occurring. And what's happening is that energy is becoming trapped, and eventually it'll become absorbed. But before that energy get absorbed, that 9 ether energy has to die down to a 6 ether, so that way they can absorb it and utilize it. Cone-shaped wombs are extremely different from pumpkin seed-shaped wombs. And it is a scientific fact that melanated women are described with having the shape of a pumpkin seed. If you look at an ankh, the ankh is a description of the shape of the melanated woman's womb, which resembles a pumpkin seed at the top of an ankh, which is a symbol and a description of how the original Stargate / womb look. The melanated woman has the black hole. Where's the black hole? It's in the center of her legs, which is her vajayjay. That is the access to the cosmic realm, which is the portal, the original Stargate, and the original temple and gateway to the cosmic realm. The melanated man has the key, which is the wand, and we have the lock, which is the Stargate. What happens is when the original man mates outside of the original woman, the energy becomes blocked because there's no reciprocating going on. As you can see, I drew a triangle over the cone shape. That energy is blocked. There's no exchange of sacred energy. But when the original man mate with the original woman, as you can see, they create the seal of Solomon, which is what they call the Star of David or the Lion of Judah. This is the symbol of the soul. So when two souls come together, this is alchemy. They create another soul. So in exchange of this sacred energy, this is how gods are produced. The chemistry that occurs between the melanated woman and the melanated man cannot be tapped in by any other ethnicity of a woman. It's a branch of science that deals with the properties, composition, and structure of elements and compounds, how they change, and the energy that released or absorbed when they change while the sexual union is taking place. This is what you call alchemy, and the philosopher's stone is the melanin. The divine feminine and the masculine is the two triangles that come together. This is your pyramid power. And these pyramids have the power to create vortexes. And the energy that is produced in the sexual union is the Kundalini energy, which is the most powerful energy on the planet, okay, which is the sexual energy, which opens up the door to the Stargate, which is the connection to the cosmic realm through the original melanated woman. And the divine masculine, which is the original melanated man, with his wand, he gives us the energy we need to manifest. And in exchange, we give them sacred energy, what my king called peace. The melanated woman has the capacity to receive the energy that comes from her magical wand from the original melanated man and to reciprocate at the same time and use that energy to manifest and to produce. But when the original man used his magical wand to impregnate another ethnicity of a woman, that energy cannot be reciprocated. It becomes dead energy and it cannot be utilized. It becomes diluted and absorbed, and there's no manifestation and there's no reproducing. They don't have a Stargate, let alone a soul. Sex is sacred and it is supposed to be used correctly. And to be honest, it is being abused because it is not being used as a sacred union that's supposed to take place between two people that love one another, but most importantly, between two melanated gods. I'm talking Kemetic alchemy and Tantra. And Tantra means woven together. When you practice Tantra sex, it's a way to weave the physical and the spiritual. This practice brings together spirituality and sexuality. So we have to be very mindful as carbon beings on this planet who we indulge in sexual acts with, because either you can reproduce and manifest and utilize your black magic, which is your alchemy, okay? Or either you can dilute your power and you could block your energy and not use your black magic. And what happens is you become drained because that woman is not the original woman. She's not a melanated woman. So what happens is you don't receive that energy back. They can't reciprocate. So eventually you go from 9 ether till you are drained, till you become a 6 ether, because they're going to absorb you eventually because you can't get that energy back. There's no exchange of sacred energy and you can't rejuvenate. And what happens is you give until you become stagnant. The melanated woman is the only woman that carries the Holy Grail.